Good morning, and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. In a couple of minutes, we're going to talk about the state of play with players that have been linked to Celtic this summer. Outfield players, not goalkeepers, who's we've signed them. But Nico Kuhn, before that, Nico Kuhn has spilled the beans. Yes, Nico Kuhn has spilled the beans on exactly what went on and why they were dancing. Why they were, it's not so much dancing in the streets of Rafe, but dancing in the stadium. Yep, dancing on the pitch. The winger explained over their 4-0 win, and he also went on to say that, look, we played pre-season. We seem to get around about 4 goals per game. We want to carry that on into the season. That is how Celtic should be winning as far as fans are concerned. The German scored the third goal in the 59th minute. Mark got an inside from the right, firing the shot. It took a bit of a deflection, let's be honest, but it went in the back of the net. Rio Tati and Scales also scored, and also Tony Ralston. If you put money on Tony Ralston and Scales scoring before the game, you would have got some fantastic odds. I mean, you would have got good odds on just Liam Scales scoring from that cracking header. But Anthony Ralston to score as well. Anyway, they didn't take up a dance. They didn't dance. No, they didn't. Nico Kuhn has said, look, Kyogo he plays Japanese music in the dressing room. And he says, so he started doing this little dance. We had it all planned out. He says, one of us had to score, whether it be Matt O'Reilly, whether it be Kyogo or Nico. And then gladly it was me that scored. He says we had said we were going to do this dance, and but when you look at the people in the squad, we think Lewis Palmer's the best dancer. There's a group of really good boys in there. He says we were happy for Tony that he scored, and it was just showed the joy when Tony scored. I think Tony can dance, but I think he's probably got 2 left feet. The more he maybe gets in, needs to score more goals before he'll start dancing. Kuhn, it was difficult when he came into the club. He obviously had a bit of a health issue. He lost some weight and he wasn't in top form. Hopefully this season we'll see the best of Kuhn and he comes on as a player, because let's face it, we really need everyone to be performing at the top level, especially heading into the Champions League, since the club have denied the manager in new faces thus far. We'll talk about that in a second. It was really important, Kuhn says, that we continued as we did in pre-season. We're so happy. The last 3 games have been really good. We scored 4 goals in every game. So we hope to keep it going like that during the season. If we get even closer, we got even closer together in pre-season as a squad. He said it was a really good start to the pre-season. He says, I hope I can show what I can do more this season. It was a difficult time for me coming in the winter, but now I'm getting used to the team. They know what I'm able to do, and I'm just happy. Kuhn was one of 6 wingers at Celtic, obviously with Dyson, Maida, Palmer, James Forrest, Yang, and Mikey Johnson. The fact that there's so many players, some of them have to leave, and I'm going to say that it's going to be obviously Mikey Johnson, and it could be Yang, could be the one that leaves the club. Mikey Johnson for sure, he'll be wanting to play first team football, so he'll probably leave this window. So when you look at it, we have an abundance of wingers, and yes, the manager does like to play with that 4-3-3, so we need really good wingers up the front to give, but we need strikers. We do need strikers, and the fact that it's nice to have these guys having a little dance and being so together that they make up these things during their training sessions and their downtime and their pre-season. But we do need a striker. There was a tweet went out yesterday. From someone connected to Norwich PR, talent management and entertainment. They're also a registered cricket agent. There you go. But this guy, Darren Whitcoop, says, concerning Adam Eden and Norwich specifically, he says Norwich are in danger of losing top players. Jonathan Rowe, subject of a £7 million bid from Leeds. And also Wolves, Josh Sargent is attracting interest in Adam Ida heading for Celtic return. That's all he says. Adam Ida heading for Celtic return. So there must be something happening behind the scenes that we don't know about. And Celtic are still pursuing Adam Ida. That's all he put in his tweet. And that was at 10 o'clock last night, 10:15 last night. He dropped that one about the fact that, no, it was yesterday morning, actually. But anyway, that's all he puts is Adam Ida heading for Celtic return. So that's interesting. But we're still short in the striker department. We have no third backup striker. There's no one that seems to be coming through the youth system that can step up to the plate and take on that striker role. The manager has said that he's looking for a third striker. So it'll be interesting to see what happens over the next couple of weeks when it comes to transfers. Now, the state of play when it comes to people that we've been linked with already. The Mitchell Ange one from Royal Antwerp, he's actually injured, so it doesn't look like he is going to move this summer. He is a winger that Celtic were looking at, but it's been suggested that his injury won't allow him to move this summer. Jason Russell-Rowe, the Columbus Crew striker, Celtic have had 2 bids put in for him. That has been they've been knocked back. So at 21-year-old, I don't think that he was the striker that was going to come in and vie for pole position with Kyogo, that's for sure. He was maybe going to be back up after Adam Ida. But another one that was interesting that we spoke about last night is Ben Doak has been told he could leave the club this summer. Yes, the young lad that decided that, yeah, I could go down to Liverpool, I'm not going to stay at Celtic. And there's been many of these young lads have done it. And I have said before, look, this is a direct message to Daniel Kelly. The grass isn't always greener on the other side. Fair enough, Ben Doak got put out on... he went out and he thought he could do it down at Liverpool, but he's been told that he can find a new club this summer. Another one that Celtic were interested in was Owen Beck, the left back. They were interested in him in the last winter window after he had a fantastic season up in Dundee. Celtic did try to get a hold of him in the winter window, but then the then-time Liverpool manager decided to give the player a couple of minutes of game time, which put paid to any Celtic transfer. Celtic are back in for the player, but they want to get him on a permanent transfer rather than a loan. They do want to try and get him on a permanent transfer. So that's the players that we know we've been linked with. We've not been linked with any new midfielders, any new strikers. Obviously, Celtic are keeping their business behind closed doors, whilst everyone and anyone that cares to be mentioned is putting it out there. Maybe it's Celtic that's leaking it about everyone coming in from Matt O'Reilly. Maybe the Celtic board are leaking this information to try and make sure that they get the 25 million plus. With the news last night that the team in England are looking to put in a 25 million offer with add-ons, that will open the starting klaxon for the Matt O'Reilly saga to come to an end. But then again, you never know. Matt O'Reilly might turn around and say, "Nah, he won't he? He'll jump ship for the cash and use it as a stepping stone." A bit like what a great defender did at Celtic and ended up at Liverpool for 70 odd million. Yes. I wonder how much money Celtic made off that in the second half. Anyway, we will be doing a live tonight at 8 p.m. at Celtic Part Time. I'm not sure if I'll get a video out at tea time because I have got other work to get doing today. So on that note, there's not a lot of Celtic news going around this morning. It is only 8 o'clock in the morning with me as I record this video. It's a fantastic game at the weekend. Let's just get this transfer window done and dusted and try and get some players in Celtic. We really need them. Although the squad is strong, the squad could be doing with a little bit stronger. If we lose Mikey Johnson, we do need to bring another winger in. We need to bring in a good winger in anyway, because I don't think that I don't think that Yang is going to, he's never going to be anywhere near to what Jota could be. And then there's a few players that need to leave Celtic. Kobayashi was left out of the team at the weekend. Gustav Lagerbielke was left out of the team at the weekend. So there's a lot of business still to be done with Celtic. We'll see what happens over the next couple of weeks. And on that note, have an absolutely fantastic day, Celtic fans all around the world. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party, roll up